I'm not gonna lie, I'm really nervous about making this video because I really don't want to offend anybody. But also, it's just a sensitive subject, so I really want to be careful about how I deliver this message. So, I want to talk about a little something called body dysmorphia. Let me actually read the definition. Body dysmorphia is a mental illness involving obsessive focus on a perceived physical flaw. Based on that definition, I feel like it should be called appearance dysmorphia, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, when I was 19 or 20, I used to have really low self-esteem. I would constantly spend hours, just looking at myself in the mirror, just picking myself apart. I never felt like I was pretty enough. And believe it or not, I wanted all types of plastic surgeries. Before I go any further, I want to make it clear, I'm not trying to plastic surgery shame anybody. And I'm not even saying that anybody who has any type of plastic surgery automatically has body dysmorphia. I'm just sharing my story. I'm just sharing my experience. Yeah, like I said, I used to want all types of plastic surgery, Botox, breast implants, lip injections, butt injections, you name it. And on top of that, I was 40 pounds heavier. So that only added on to the body dysmorphia. Thankfully, I was broke as fuck back then. So I couldn't even afford plastic surgery, even if I wanted to. But I'm actually grateful that I was broke back then, because if I had the money, I would have gotten all that work done, and I probably would have regretted it because my mindset is completely different now. I'm not gonna lie, it took a lot of spiritual work for me to grow out of that. And it just makes me think about the really, really young girls who look up to certain celebrities and they want to look like certain celebrities who don't even naturally look how they look. They've had, certain procedures done. And like I said, I'm not, shaming anybody that gets any type of work done. But I'm going to be honest, it is a little concerning because think about the fact that when I was 19 or 20, I wanted to get all this plastic surgery. Now that I'm older and more mature, I've grown out of that and I realize that's not really what I want. Think about young girls who actually have the money to get the work done. Girls that are in their early 20s, maybe even 19, 18. Then they end up doing something that, you really can't reverse. And you might feel like, oh, now that I had this work done, the problem is solved. I feel good about myself now. And in some cases you might, but in some cases you might not. And if anything, you just want more. You just want to get more plastic surgery to reach, this image of perfection that's not even real. I recently read an article that said plastic surgery has dramatically increased during the pandemic. And I thought that was interesting because think about it, we've all been on social media way more than we normally would if it wasn't for the pandemic. And what do we do on social media? A lot of times we're subconsciously comparing ourselves to other people. Like I've said a million times before, comparison is a thief of joy. It's no point in me comparing myself to another woman because I'll never be another woman. I can only be Kyla. Another thing the article said that I thought was really interesting, it said that there's a lot of young girls going into plastic surgeons saying, hey, make me look like this filter that I use on Instagram. Make me look like this face filter, that I use whenever I post stuff on my Instagram. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of using those face filters sometimes. But I feel like you have to be careful not to use that stuff 24/7 because I feel like it gives you a distorted perception or image of yourself. And it's like you could really be beautiful in real life, but because you're so used to using this filter, you feel like you're ugly when you don't have the filter. But like I said, I'm really not trying to shame anybody. I'm not even saying, oh, if you use filters, that means you have body dysmorphia. I'm really just trying to bring awareness. Because like I said, I used to have body dysmorphia, but I didn't even realize it until recently. So yeah.